Who do you see as your biggest rivals this year, and who's breathing down your neck in terms of competition?
If I had to name a few, it'd be Winston DG with Dave Fry and JB.
We're the land of the free
and an inspired rendition of our national anthem. Really getting warmed up here, just moments away. We'll be back right after this. The Ultra wearing the green today on this stretch payday.
Kevin, good evening.
Knows it very well, D.A. Thank you so much. And the starting lineup for the Timberwolves. They've got Robinson. He's out there with D'Angelo Russell. And it's Towns in at the 5. And for the Clippers, Junior's out there with Ibaka. Then there's Kawhi Leonard. Then it's Paul George. And it's Williams at the 1 spot. Now, here's Junior. Really played well against Sacramento in his last outing. Williams kicks to George. Terrific, talented backcourts tonight. Greg, did it ever add anything for you playing across another top-level guard?
Listen, it raises the stakes, no doubt about it. You always want the opportunity to play against the best because you want to see where you stand. But in the end, even when you know a guy's better than you, and you're going to have that be the case a lot of nights, you still know that you will have an ability to impact the outcome when it comes to winning. And that's where you have to keep your focus.
So it's the Timberwolves now after the miss from Junior. Towns for 3. Here's Leonard. About a minute played so far here in the first. Junior. No good there. And Minnesota will come the other way. And now here comes Robinson leading the break. And there's the pass to Russell. Dishes it to Towns. A wide open shot from Hernan Gomez. Another miss by Minnesota. Clippers have gone 0 of 3 from the field to start the game. Leonard, no luck.
Oh my God, they can't buy one. 0 for 4. Sometimes this happens.
Passes it to Okogie. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. Misses the 3. Here's Junior. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. That's on D'Angelo Russell.
No, I tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
The Clippers shooting their first free throws of the game.
And they've had really good numbers all season from the free throw line.
Both good from the line that time. The first quarter of action, 2 minutes in. Pass to Okogie. Towns against Ibaka. He's now 1 for 2 with that bucket.
And the lid comes off the basket after 4 straight misses. They finally get one.
And the Timberwolves have made it clear Karl Anthony Towns is their franchise player. He's the guy they're building around. Just setting the tone with an aggressive move to the rack. And where's the help defensively?
No excuse. You have to be aware. He should be on your radar all the time.
Now, here is Robinson. 20 points for him last game against Sacramento. 20 feet out. And, yep, finally drops after rolling around the rim. And we've heard Towns for years pronouncing his happiness with the Timberwolves. Last season, Greg, as the losses piled up, some rumors that he was getting frustrated.
Well, we've seen this pattern with the Timberwolves before, right? Kevin Garnett, Kevin Love, all-star big man who ended up leaving the Twin Cities to win titles.
You know what, though? They keep calling his number despite the difficult quarter he's had.
Floats it up for Junior. Takes the alley-oop pass and dunks it down.
I mean, a great look by Kawhi, aware of what the defense is trying to do. Understands the spacing.
Pass to Towns. Ibaka with some nice D.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be because he is so strong in the paint.
Well, Paul knows the defense is locked in on him, so he takes advantage and finds the open man.
And it's Russell with the ball. He'll bring it up for the Minnesota Timberwolves. 4-point game. There's the dish to Towns. Outside for Robinson. Offensive rebound. And Towns throws it down.
The long arms, the positioning. Towns is excellent at knowing how to gobble up those second chance opportunities.
Ibaka finds George. And they call the foul, so he's got the and one chance here to make it a three-point play.
Talented, driven. He puts constant pressure on your defense.
The Clippers shooting their third free throw shot of the game.
The homecoming for Paul George, playing in L.A. with the Clippers. They gave up a king's ransom to OKC. 5 first-round picks and Danilo Gallinari and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Now here's Williams. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Outside, George. Inside, it's stolen by Hernan Gomez. Now running up the court, Robinson pushing it up. He dishes it to Towns. It's blocked, and they'll keep possession. Robinson passes to Russell. The rebound by Paul George. Los Angeles leading by 3. Floats it up for Junior. An emphatic alley-oop jam.
And give Sweet Lou credit. Turns down his own shot because his teammate has a better one.
And guys, the Clippers were willing to give almost anything for PG because they basically got Kawhi Leonard in the deal as well.
And let's remember, GA, he could have been a Laker. They would have had to trade away the second pick in the 2017 draft, that or Brandon Ingram. Their loss became the Clippers' game. What I like, he hasn't stopped competing despite the off night.
Leonard attacking. And that's going to be too many steps. Gets the whistle on the travel. And Los Angeles with some changes. Ivica Zubac has checked in for Serge Ibaka. And it's Patrick Beverley in for Williams. Timberwolves also changing it up. Malik Beasley comes in for Josh Okogie. And Ricky Rubio subbed in for Duncan Robinson. Timberwolves trail by 5. Russell looking around. The kick out to Town. Those 3-pointers off the mark.
And even without that 3-ball dropping for him, the defense should have done more on that last play.
Here's Junior, and Junior throws it down.
Finding a little rhythm here that they have to like where they're at.
They're playing well. They're building momentum. This is how they can turn a small lead into a big one.
Now, here's Rubio. 9-point game his last outing. And denied. He sends it right off the glass. Right side, Leonard. George passes to Junior. That one falls. Junior's got 14.
Yeah, that's the third bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle.
Timeout called, first of the game for Minnesota. Outplayed in the previous game on their schedule, losing to Sacramento.
Rough game defensively. I mean, they lost a lot of the individual matchups, and the help was slow to rotate.
Point blank, this is a bad combination. If you're looking to get stops, that's not the way.
Here's what the Clippers are going with right now. Marcus Morris is checked in for Leonard. And it's Kennard in for Paul George. The Timberwolves also with the sub. Culver's checked in for Russell. Now Zubac after the missed 3 from Rubio. Morris outside. Junior kicks to Zubac. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game.
And you can see their strategy coming in. They want to control the paint.
This is my type of approach. Get some high percentage looks. Then later, you can play inside out.
And Minnesota has possession after the Clippers pick up 2. Morris with the block.
And this is what staying active can give you. Morris sending that one back with authority.
Junior the pass to Zubac. And the dunk by Zubac.
And what a way to start this game, dominating at both ends of the floor.
They came in prepared, focused, and really jumped on the other team early.
Here's Rubio after the basket by Los Angeles. And Towns gets it to go.
Crossing up the defense, and that's what you expect from Rubio. Terrific vision.
And here's Beverly. He's still scoreless so far in this one. Floats it up for Junior. Up high to stuff the alley-oop.
Building up a big early lead, they have taken charge of this game.
Play calling has been fantastic. They've been a step ahead of the defense since the opening tip.
Now, here's Rubio. He's playing a pretty big role for him at the offensive end, averaging about 12.5 points a game.
Just doing the job on the backboard.
Clippers leading by 13. Here's Junior, and he lays it straight in. Junior's got 18 points.
The defense not putting up any fight on the inside. They've allowed 10 straight points in the paint.
Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Down low, and Towns throws it down.
And wait to finish and cut into that lead a little bit.
Yeah, but look at the basket guy still shaking. Beverly the pass to Morris. Now here's Zubac. And the dunk by Zubac.
And he can do a lot more damage to the rim than that when he wants to.
Oh, you're right. And with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one. Now here's Beasley. 14 points from him the last game against Sacramento. Towns wide open. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. 11 points in the game.
They're still behind, but not because of his efforts. He's been unbelievable this quarter.
Here's Zubac, and the rejection by Towns. It's Beasley on the wing. Had a chance there to cut it to single digits, but it's off target. Clippers leading by 12. Beasley with the steal. And now Rubio pushing it up. No one back to stop him.
So often the setup man in transition. This time Rubio takes it himself.
Now Beverly still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. And Junior throws it down.
Oh, phenomenal alley-oop slam there.
They are taking advantage of a team that looks lost out there. Left side, Towns. And so it's the Los Angeles Clippers up by a dozen here at the end of the quarter. They've excelled in the open court. Their transition game has allowed them to build this healthy lead. Back right after this.
All year we've talked about the message of discipline.
And Greg, of course, we see many teams having this issue.
The game is so fast-paced now. It's hard for guys to value each and every possession. That often leads to careless play at both ends.
It's good to have you back with us as we celebrate St. Patrick's Day with more NBA action on 2K Sports. And quite a position here for the Clippers to be in. What do you think, guys?
Well, you have to love what they've done offensively after that first period.
Crushing it, absolutely crushing it. Shooting lights out, building a big lead here early on.
Shake Milton is out there with Jackson. Then it's Junior. Then it's Luke Kennard. And it's Morris in at the 4. That's who's out there for the Clippers. And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Thanks, guys. Junior, in his last outing against the Kings, played superbly. Picked up 58 points, and that was just the start of it. He wound up with a triple-double in what was quite a display for him. When you look at the stat sheet, he was mind-blowing. It's hard to imagine he can follow it up tonight with that same level of production. Kevin, we'll see.
Excellent, David. Thank you. Greg, how impressive was it watching him completely take over?
Unstoppable. They won that game because of his effort and just his overall relentlessness.
And that's what every player has control of, his level of activity. It allows you to impact the game even if the shot isn't falling.
Man, have they been effective at getting the ball inside.
Timberwolves trail by 16. Bounce pass, Rubio. Towns kicks to Beasley. In deep. Second shot opportunity. It's deflected. And now the Clippers on the break. Jackson's got the ball. The Timberwolves have gotten off to a rough start here in the second quarter. 0 for 5. Rubio, the pass to Culver. Off target with his 3. Clippers leading by 16. And we know GA's shooting is a question mark for Jarrett Culver.
A long windup, a little hitch in his giddy up, and shoots it kind of on the way down. He's reworked his motion. I like the high release, but it's still a work in progress.
Here's McLaughlin. No points in the game yet for him. Another miss by Minnesota. Here in the second quarter, we've played a little over 2.5 minutes now.
That's the leadership they're looking for from Jackson. Staying patient, surveying the court, locates the open man.
And the Timberwolves call timing. I know you appreciate this, Greg. So much of defense now is closing out on the three-point shooting and then protecting the rim. Consequently, pull-up jump shooters are super valuable. And there are a lot of good ones in the NBA right now.
No doubt about it. And Kevin, you know, you think about a few guys. James Harden, I mean, he shoots that step-back three, but he's a guy that, because of his ability to utilize your inability to defend that three-pointer, Kyrie, Dame Lillard, those are some guys. Chris Paul still as good as anybody in that mid-range area. CJ McCollum. These are guys that have really feasted and carved out a nice niche for themselves in the NBA because of that ability to take and make jump shots.
And I love that list. You're right on. Here's Junior. Count the bucket. And he's got a free throw coming up as well.
The playmaking of Reggie. A work in progress, but looking good right there.
Williams, he's checked in for Jackson. Los Angeles shooting their 4th attempt at the free throw line right here. Russell passes to Robinson. George against Russell. For the 3. It's hauled in by the Clippers. Junior's got rebound number 8 now on the night.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
And you don't want to give up that kind of look too often.
And here are the Clippers. They're on an 11-2 run. Floats it up for Junior.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
And so it's Russell with it. He'll bring it up for Minnesota.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
So the wing on the left. The 3. Another miss by Minnesota. Clippers leading by 23. To the middle. Here's Junior. And foul on the shot. So he'll get a chance at the line. The Clippers have hit all 4 of their chances so far in this one. Juan Hernan-Gomez, he's checked in for Jordan McLaughlin. And he sinks the second.
And as he gets deeper into his career, Serge Ibaka's shooting continues to improve. What a great job he's done of changing how he scores.
It's very impressive because a late bloomer Serge Ibaka has been on the offensive end. Let's look at last season, his highest point per game average, and he's in his 11th NBA season. That still has great efficiency on the offensive end, but sometimes he's overlooked as a scorer on this team.
The Clippers have shot a good percentage from the free throw line so far. They've made 5 out of 6.
And he's been much more aggressive here in the second quarter. He's getting to the line a lot more than he did in the first.
Here's Hernan-Gomez, and it's the Clippers with the rebound.
Out of character for him to miss that shot. Maybe just a little too casual there.
Junior dishes to Williams. It's hauled in by Karl Anthony Towns. Towns has got his 6th rebound on the night. Over to the wing. Back to Russell. He kicks to Towns. Shot to stop the run. That shot off. So Los Angeles will take it the other way.
He's kind of lost his way this period, having a hard time getting anything to go down.
doing his job on the glass and doing it with force.
And Greg, it's not everybody in the league who can make those kinds of plays.
You know, this is one of his specialties, keeping plays alive, creating second chance opportunities.
Minnesota calls timeout. Last time they met was in Minnesota.
And it's going to come down to effort tonight. Last time they met each other, they were demolished on the boards, and that rebounding difference led to a sizable loss.
If you don't have that one guy who gets you 10-plus boards every night, you just have to send more guys to the glass.
Zubac is checked in for the Clippers. Patrick Beverly comes in for Williams. Robinson passes to Towns. Shot clock at 5. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
And you got to like Towns being assertive there. When he plays like this, it really makes the defenders uncomfortable.
And Towns drops them both. Last year, LeBron, as we know, Steve, broke Derek Fisher's record for most postseason wins. Talk about the weight of that accomplishment.
You know, Kevin, let's take those two players. Start off with Derek Fisher. Give him a lot of credit. As a role player, he was on some great teams and contributed. Unbelievable to have that record. And then on the flip side, LeBron James was on some great teams, and he was the reason they were great teams because he's one of the greatest players of all times. Two different type of players, but both are very impressive.
And they're getting points, they're getting stops, and this is how they'd like to play all the time.
Yes, when it's going good, it feels easy. These are the nights you relish, but they're tough to replicate.
And the shot is good.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with their work down low.
Los Angeles has gone 1 of 2 on three-pointers here in the second quarter so far. Beverly finds Zubac. Nice passing here by Los Angeles. Here's Junior. There's the pass to Zubac to the inside. And the rejection by Towns.
And his foot movement is what makes Towns such a terrific shot blocker. He moves so well and can defend just about any position on the floor.
George against Robinson. Russell with a wide open look. And it's off from three-point range.
Well, they've been better than good on the glass today, and there is a glaring discrepancy between these two teams in that area.
And likes the view from there. He's a strong mid-range shooter.
And with that height, he can get a clean look on any shot at any time.
To the paint, Junior, and the rejection by Towns. Outside, Russell. The shot from 20 feet away. And it's the Clippers with the rebound. Junior's got 13 rebounds in the game. Class eating. Kicks it out to Leonard. Rebounded by the Timberwolves. After this one, they're off to Sacramento to take on the Kings. That'll be the second of this two-game road trip. It's tipped, and he recovers it. And it's Towns missing. Last outing for the Clippers, they won that game against the Kings. A nice shot by George.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
Russell against Beverly. Releases, and he hits the jumper. Well, he's been waiting for that for a while. Russell's got 6, and the Clippers decide to take their first timeout here.
What are you doing here, Flynn? Get out!
And Los Angeles. And so it's the Los Angeles Clippers. And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. You look at Junior in this game, he's been everywhere.
Well, with a double-double in hand through 2 quarters, You can just imagine what his stat line will look like at the end of this one.
They're asking a lot of him, shouldering the load in a number of areas. You just hope he has enough left at the end.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the second half of basketball. On the court for Minnesota, they've got Towns. Russell is out there with Robinson. And it's Hernan Gomez in at the power forward.
And I like Russell's ability to create for others. He does what's best for the team.
And George kicks to Junior. Out left to the wing. In the corner, George with it. Good on the three-point shot. 9 points in the game so far.
Yeah, that's 2 straight three-pointers they've allowed.
Russell dishes to Robinson. Back to Russell. Good, and the assist goes to Robinson. And it's 8 points for D'Angelo Russell.
Their interior has been inferior defensively. It has got to... He is a highlight reel unto himself, guys.
That could be a contender for the dunk of the year, I think. Outside Robinson. Russell against Williams. Towns for 3. Hits the three-point bomb. Towns has got 20.
That's 3 of 4 here to start the half.
Inside, here's Junior. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. So many people know your story, born and raised in Las Vegas. It must have been an amazing feeling then to lead UNLV to its only championship.
I mean, Kevin, you know, playing in front of so many people you know has its pros and cons.
Right.
But to be a part of that 1990 championship team and the only one we've been able to hoist and to have my jersey hanging in that rafter, it's humbling, and yes, it brings back a lot of fondness.
Like historically good, right? When you think of that team, what that meant, it has a historic place.
It does. We felt like we were able to etch our mark in terms of the lores of the game of college basketball.
Outside, George. Out of bounds. Minnesota takes possession.
Boy, if you're the coach, you hate to see that kind of miscommunication between your guys.
Jordan McLaughlin's checked in for the Timberwolves. Second half of play with just under 2.5 minutes gone.
This is the shot they wanted to get. Right guy, right spot, wrong result.
And Junior throws it down.
You know he's going to take a lot of shots out there. He's their #1 option right now.
For Minnesota, they've gone 4 of 6 from the field since the start of the third. Here's McLaughlin. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 7.5 points a game. Now, here's Junior. Defense right on him. From deep. George, no good. And it's Russell with the ball. He'll bring it up for the Timberwolves. Passes it to Okogie. Here's McLaughlin. The Timberwolves again can't hit. Here's Junior. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. Leonard's got 3 assists in the game.
These are big buckets. He's been instrumental in helping them try to close out this game.
Russell against George. Towns for 3. Bangs home the trifecta. Towns has got 23 points.
And few 7-footers in the league have Towns' shooting touch. This is a guy you want to create for time and time again.
And the Clippers call time here.
And coach most likely wants to address their turnover issues. The offense looks forced right now, rush. There's no synergy to it. They have to find a way to work together and remain aggressive without making mistakes.
Davis is checked in for the Timberwolves. Malik Beasley comes in for Josh Okogie. Russell the open look, and there are the Timberwolves with another bucket.
Cognizant of the entire court, Russell aware of where the defenders are and really does a great job creating opportunities. And he wanted everybody in the building to feel that ferocity.
And we did. Yeah. We felt it. Even over here, we felt it.
And the way they have control the glass this game. Really impressive.
You know, you look at how they built this lead. It's been through extra possessions.
Beasley kicks to Towns. And again, Minnesota with the triple.
And with that unique combination of size and skill, Towns can sure get himself going offensively.
Clippers moving the ball around. And Junior throws it down.
I don't think the D has an answer for him right now. He is just getting any shot he wants.
Timberwolves have gone 7 of 12 from the floor since coming out of the break. Williams against Russell.
High percentage look for him. But bottom line, they're not all going to go down.
Here's Junior and the rejection by Towns. Nobody near Williams. And no good trying to use the glass. Minnesota's gone 3 of 7 from three-point range here in quarter number 3. Poked away. And wrestling for it there, but no one has possession. We'll have a jump ball. And it's the Clippers with the ball. The Clippers have gotten 6 of their 12 shots to drop for him here in the second half so far. Junior the pass to Ibaka. Towns with the steal. Here's Russell. Finished off the break. Russell's got 6 in the quarter.
And he is really in a zone right now, playing and scoring with confidence.
Outside, George. Here's Junior. Connects again.
My goodness. 50 for the game.
Yep, he is putting on a show. McLaughlin, the pass to Beasley. Towns with it. Defended by Ibaka. Beasley for 3. And it's Junior with the rebound. LA's gone 3 of 6 tonight when they've let it fly from downtown. Leonard with the bucket.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
And the Timberwolves call time here. Craig, you were a physical, defensive-minded player. What are your thoughts on how closely the game is called now as opposed to when you played?
It is.
Here's Russell. Kicks it out to Beasley. Smitty, you were a player with versatility and length. How much fun would you have had with today's style of play?
I think, Kevin, I was a guy that kind of played 1 through 3 at 6'8". But nowadays, I could have played 1 through 5. I would have loved playing the 5 position. Reason why, I could have got my shot off at any time I wanted. And the three-point shot, Kevin, you can take 10, 12 three-pointers. I would have loved that.
Ibaka is out there with Junior. Then it's Paul George. Then it's Williams. And it's Leonard in at the 3 spot. So that's the lineup on the floor for the Clippers. Okogie, and he says right back at you with a big dunk of his own.
How about the recognition from Culver? Terrific at realizing when the defense has broken down.
Oh, what a play!
Watch it! So explosive with the dunk. Kawhi Leonard gets up quick to slam it down.
Outside, Russell to the wing right side. And Robinson wide open. He shoots. Good, and the assist goes to Russell. Robinson's got a pair of threes here in the fourth quarter for Minnesota. There's the feed to Junior. And good, he hits it again. He's been absolutely ridiculous in this game.
You get the sense he just can't miss.
Russell passes to Okogie. Beasley with a clean look, and again it's Minnesota converting.
And after an abysmal first half from the field, the shots now starting to fall.
To the middle. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. It goes on Jarrett Culver. That one is off. And Smitty, we see the success and the great talent level in the WNBA. Do you ever think you're going to see a woman on an NBA roster?
Well, Kevin, that's a good question. Let's look at the history of the game. We've had 2 women drafted, Denise Long back in 1969 and Lucia Harris in 1977. I will say this, Kevin, I do believe so. I think in my era, there's one player I got a chance to watch and play against that could have played for sure was Cheryl Miller.
And already a leader at such a young age, Towns' teammates look to him to anchor them on both ends, and he has not disappointed.
And the Timberwolves making a change here. Hernan Gomez is checked in. And it's Junior missing. Timberwolves trail by 21. Outside, Russell. It's hauled in by George. For Los Angeles, they've gone 5 of 8 shooting as we've come down the home stretch in this final quarter. Williams gets the bucket.
Going teardrop, Lou Williams, pulling out all the moves. He's got them.
To the inside, Towns. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
And they came out of the locker room after halftime with a much more physical approach than what we saw in that first half.
And Towns drops them both. Los Angeles leading by 21. Here's Junior, and again.
And he's been dominant here thus far.
Shouldering the offense, GA, really taking it to the opposition. Russell against Leonard. Here's Towns, and the dunk by Towns.
And once he gets clear off the screen, there is no stopping him.
No, not when there's a flush waiting to happen.
That's a big-time move and a big-time finish. A little undersized at the 4, but he can get off the ground.
Pass to Okogie. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. And Towns throws it down.
And really scored most of their points, but he can't score them all, guys. He's going to have to get somebody else to step up.
And that one's good, Junior.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
Russell against Leonard. Russell kicks to Towns. To the left wing. For 3, Okogie. Rebound by Williams. And here's Williams now. He'll bring it up for the Clippers. Here's George. Beautiful dish, and the layup goes down.
And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
Minnesota's gone 3 of 5 from beyond the arc since the final quarter's gotten underway. Russell passes to Okogie. Steve, if you were a GM and you could choose one player, who would you start your team with?
Right now, I think the perfect player to start your team off right now because of the way everything is going is Anthony Davis. He can play 1 through 5. Defensively, he can change a game. Offensively, he can play in and out. And he's just that fluid player that matches up with today's game.
And Junior throws it down.
This is who you want leading that play. A sure passer with great awareness.
Pass to Okogie. Shoots a 3. They get it back, and it's Towns on the follow.
And really the scoring this quarter has been just off the charts, doing all he can to bring them back.
And the Clippers call time here. And now we present our New Balance Player of the Game.
And his performance has been a jaw-dropper. He must have been feeling great coming into the building tonight, because once he hit the court, it was all working for him. He was in a zone.
What a connection he has to these fans. They love him here. And the more he has games like this, the deeper that connection gets. Here is Williams. The pass to Junior. And Junior throws it down hard.
He's put on a show for these fans.
I can't believe he pulled that one out in the course of an actual game. Passes to Reed. Here's McLaughlin. Pass to Noel. Shot clock at 6. Over George. And it's in after a nice bounce off the right side. Clippers leading by 23. Left side, George. Good, great play by Williams to set it up. Williams has got 9 assists in the game. Great passing. Timberwolves shooting about 42% so far. Here's Noel. Banked in off the glass.
And he found the soft spot in the D on that possession.
Los Angeles has gotten a lot of looks from outside tonight. 5 of 12. Down low. And Junior throws it down.
And guys, he's not an easy man to stop when he's got the rim in his sights.
Never has been, never will be. He is a determined finisher. To the middle. And it's slammed in by Davis.
Explosive leaping ability allows him to play the 5, even though he's a little undersized.
And Los Angeles with some changes. Patrick Patterson, he's checked in for Ibaka. Batum comes in for Leonard. And it's Shake Milton in for George. Steve, you look at the large companies being created right now by some NBA players like LeBron and Steph. Talk about the example that sets for kids who look up to these guys.
You know, Kevin, I think it's a great example. Reason why they are showing the next generation of kids that's taking basketball serious, that they're more than just a basketball player. They are prepping for life after the game is over, but able to do it while they're playing.
Catching up on the changes for Los Angeles. Serge Ibaka, he's checked in for Patterson. Leonard comes in for Nicholas Batum. And it's Paul George in for Shake Milton. Pass to Hernan Gomez. Off target from outside.
At some point, when you recognize someone's this out of rhythm, you have to shift to something else.
Here's Ibaka, and he finishes nicely on the layup.
Very solid, both ends of the floor. That time, Ibaka efficient inside.
Russell kicks to Hernan Gomez. Williams against Russell. And there it is for him. 1:30 left here in the fourth quarter.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it. Just a total mismatch and a true show.
Oh, my goodness!
Did you see
that
play? Unbelievable.
Oh, let's go home. That was just ridiculous.
I do not remember the last time I saw a dunk like that in a game. Towns for 3. Good, and the assist goes to Russell. Russell's got his 7th assist of the game with that last one.
And they have been relentless from deep. And you see the defense trying to react, but to no avail.
You know what? They talked about this at halftime, and they're doing a better job of creating space. Attacking the defense with the pass. Don't need to be a hero.
Hernan Gomez passes to Robinson. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. Towns kicks to Robinson. And another 3 for Minnesota.
And you gotta like that they found something positive here, something that maybe carry overs into the next game.
They put together some great possessions here at the end. It's a shame they could have used this run much earlier.
And it's just competing, you know, giving your best when it matters most.
It's called killer instinct. It's one thing to be close at the end. It's another to finish.
And the foul called up. So it's Los Angeles winning this one easily. And the outcome of this one was never in doubt.
And boy, they really put in a supreme effort. It just felt like once they had that lead and it was comfortable, they were not going to relinquish it.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for now.